フルカウンター
For Knights of the Apocalypse, the sequel manga to 7 Days Sins was recently announced to be coming to Grand Cross at some point in the future, and this announcement alone is actually more important than you first realize. If you actually haven't read the manga, then you don't know what's coming. There's so much new characters, so many new forms, upgrades towards other characters that I won't be spoiling in today's video. We'll be saving that for another video probably later next week. But do I recommend reading the manga? Honestly, if you're heavily invested into Grand Cross, I definitely recommend it. I know the anime has just been shown and we got a little bit of a tease about what's coming, and we know it's going to be beautiful animation, at least in comparison to the last 2 seasons. But if you are a massive Grand Cross fan and you're keeping up to date with Grand Cross content on social media and YouTube itself, then I do recommend reading it, just because I feel like you possibly may have been spoiled, or you will be spoiled before the anime does come out, or even while it's airing. Because I know myself, if I actually hadn't read the manga, I would have been spoiled from a few other YouTubers now. Not only that, going on Twitter, just checking the comments of the announcement, people spoiling all the favorite characters they want to see come to the game. So I just feel like if you're actually a massive fan of Grand Cross, you watch a lot of content, obviously I'll keep it spoiler free, and when I do spoil something, I'll definitely say a massive spoiler warning. But I do feel like there are massive reveals and massive characters that do get shown in the manga that if you are going to get spoiled on is a bit unfortunate, and you kind of want to see that paid off either in animation first or obviously in the manga. But why was this announcement important? Well, we go back to what the dev notes they mentioned earlier this year. They mentioned 2 key words, and that was going back to the pre-launch mindset and also time for a massive expansion. And that alone means we're going to get a bunch of new characters. Now, without spoiling anything towards the characters that are about to come, but there are a lot more main characters and also side characters, main villains, just villains that are shot for like a few episodes that could be possible characters in the game. And while it is easy for me to say that we could be getting all these characters, the chances are it's not really guaranteed at this point in time, because there's still a bunch of characters from the original 70s storyline that we've yet to get that are just locked off towards story content, and characters we haven't even seen be playable like Nerobastar. So while yes, the opportunity is there, will they take advantage of that and give those characters playable characters? I'm not entirely too sure. But I'm definitely excited to see the possibility of getting more 70s characters, because honestly, for the past few months, it really does feel like we aren't getting that many 70s characters. If we go towards the past banners, granted, I know festival characters, they are 70 sins, but we kind of exclude festival characters because those are most of the time mostly sins or main bad villains that we know are coming. But if we go back, I mean, it's been OC characters. I mean, Liz, granted, yes, she was an actual, sin character, but nobody cares about her too much. But it's just basically Demon Cusack. We have to go back further. We go Demon Chandler, then we get obviously Zeldris, and this is going back towards July, August, and that was basically what, 5 months ago. And now with Ragnarok coming back, that's 1 month guarantee that we're going to be getting a non-70s character. And while I don't really mind, because Freya is definitely more important, and to be fair, even more important than most 70s characters, I want to start seeing more characters, man. I want to see the third colors of each of the commandments. I want to get, new characters for Knights if they do come out. There's so much content that I think Fortnite could bring. Characters alone, definitely important. So I think if you are a massive 70s fan, you'll definitely appreciate the fact that we could be actually seeing more 70s characters in Grand Cross. I know it sounds ridiculous, but collaborations with obviously OCs and Ragnarok, it starts to dilute the pool of getting characters. When Festival Lottie Money came out, she basically made unknown teams very, very powerful, especially with the addition of ReZero. And this was a massive thing for the time, because we didn't know how good she was going to be, because she was an unknown race character, and at the time, if you are unknown race, you're probably really bad just because you couldn't actually use Halloween Gopher. And from my point of view, Netmarble kind of wanted to move away from Halloween Gopher because using different race character was too much, and instead we started to move towards an actual 4 race meta where you're using 4 unknowns, you're using 4 human teams, you're now using 4 demon teams, and now especially with the goddesses, you're using 4 goddess teams, and there's no really in between unless you're Ultimate Escanor, because he's his own race. And that basically just excludes characters. For example, you don't know, I love Chandler. Demon Chandler was one of my favorite characters, and he's just limited towards a demon team, which makes the character a little bit boring, and I don't really get to use the character. And if we look at all the actual main 70s characters that came out this year that won festivals, they're all limited towards one team. Chandler, Demon Cusack, Omnis Nebo Zeldris, those are all characters made to buff up the demon team, which was a bit ridiculous at the time, I'm not gonna lie, just to get crazy demon support. And then go back to April, Tamiya was to buff up the goddesses. But my point is, when you are summoning for these characters, you are summoning because you're trying to make your one main race stronger. You normally want to focus on one main race. However, with the addition of Fortnite's Apocalypse, we are going to be getting, and there's quite a few of them actually, we are going to be getting dual race characters like Sigurd, where they actually are one main race. They're going to be human, but they're also part of the Demon Clan. Obviously, I believe I can't talk about him because he obviously was shown in the movie. He was a main part of it, and also at the end of 70 Sins. But Tristan is the big one. He is going to be a demon and also a goddess, which is just going to make summoning the character so much more enjoyable, because if you are a demon main, for example, the character is going to get a lot of benefits from obviously using so many different demon characters. But if you were someone like Vader, for example, who focus and mainly uses the goddess clan, Tristan can still be summonable. So that's two races and two joints of people that can summon for those characters. And like I said, there are many other characters in the future that will have dual races. Like there'll be humans and demons, there'll be fairies and giants, fairies and humans, for example. There are going to be a lot of mixed dual race characters that people can take advantage of, and that's going to bring more variety to the game because you can summon for one main character and use them on two different teams. So if Tristan was to come out right now, he would be crazy broken and mostly be used on a demon team. But when we get Mael in the future, then Mael might make the goddess team broken, and boom, you can use Tristan. Your 600 gems you were spending for him will now be beneficial towards another team. And who's to say that these characters that come out won't buff dual races? It'll be kind of interesting to see. So honestly, that's one big reason why I do think that Fortnite's buff coming to the game is going to open up a whole different meta and just more options to use different characters. And when these dual race characters do come out, they're going to be quite special. And then finally, to wrap it up, we do have the story mode. Now, 70 Sins as itself, the storyline will likely end this year, probably around December, November. Same with Ragnarok. We're going to be wrapping up both Ragnarok and 70 Sins at the end of this year, maybe pushing the start of next year, which means we are going to be in need of a new story. And since we do know that Fortnite's Apocalypse will be airing this year, it does mean by the time next year, they actually could start actually working on Fortnite into Grand Cross. We actually get the story cutscenes. However, since we know that animation, it actually will be good this time around, it's not going to be too crazy to see it in Grand Cross. It'll still be enjoyable and it'll be nice to see it, but it'll probably either be too recent to where we just saw it in the anime, or also the animation will be too good in the actual anime to where in Grand Cross it'll probably actually look worse because we're comparing it to such good quality, where in the past we've been comparing such bad quality to Grand Cross, and Grand Cross has actually saved the anime in some way because we can now see great animation. The big one obviously being Escudo versus Meliodas that butchered the fight in the anime. So seeing the actual fight in Grand Cross is actually hype, and to see it animated, and to be fair, they obviously will do the different takes about how to animate the scene, so it's definitely still enjoyable, but that's something else to look forward to. But yeah, boys, that's all for today. Let me know what you're most excited for. Is it the possibility of getting new characters, dual race characters? We could be obviously getting more story content too. There's so much coming with this expansion, is that what we're going to call it. So boys, thank you for watching, and yeah, peace.